This is Michael Popok, Legal AF. Interested in seeing a 43-foot tall, 6,000-pound nude statue of Donald Trump made out of foam sitting on I-15 in Vegas on the way to Utah? Then I got a hot take for you. I got to do this one. So we've got the expression of First Amendment speech by way of a series of artists who have created something that they call transparency in politics, or crooked and obscene. Both titles fit this 43-foot monstrosity showing a nude Donald Trump. We've blurred out the parts here that you don't want to see. Now, Donald Trump says things out loud on the campaign trail, like he's got a beautiful body and his beach body is better than Joe Biden's beach body. I think he was going to say Kamala Harris at that particular moment. But I digress. In fact, let's go to the clip of Donald Trump bragging about his obese, overweight, pushing 80-year-old, never seen the inside of a gym, riding around in a golf cart body.
So beautiful. I could have been sunbathing on the beach. You have never seen a body so beautiful. Much better than Sleepy Joe. No.
Well, the artists here in Vegas who put it up in the Battleground state of Nevada, they see Donald Trump differently. The emperor has no clothes. Donald Trump is completely naked. And MAGA is losing their mind over this statue that when I first saw it without any commentary, I had to burst out laughing and snorted my coffee. Now, let's remember that Donald Trump is constantly telling people that he has a First Amendment right, freedom of expression, core political campaign speech that can't be infringed. That's why the prosecutor's going after him, and the like. All right. Well, the rest of Americans have First Amendment rights of free speech, but MAGA has lost their head. And they've tried to conflate this humorous, satiric criticism of Donald Trump, which is in line with political cartoonists have been doing satire like this against the American presidents going back 150 or 200 years. This is no different than what they did in the colonial times against the king, or they did in the newspapers against any president and every president. Look at any political cartoon and how the president at the time is portrayed. This is just writ large now, out of foam. I almost said cheese. A 600-pound foam monstrosity called crooked and obscene and transparency in politics. Get it? MAGA. It's going crazy. Here's just a couple of what they've said so far, linking this expression of First Amendment speech to Donald Trump's two assassination attempts. Under the rubric political violence, a right-wing MAGA social media poster called @Amuse wrote the following: political violence, Nevada Democrats, by the way, I don't think it's the Democrats, I think these are artists, have hung a 43-foot tall, 6,000-pound naked president in effigy near Las Vegas on Interstate 15. I got news for Amuse. That alone would send me to go look at this thing and go on the internet. So if you were trying to get people not to look at it, leading it off with what appears to be a promotional piece, a promotional item for the thing you don't like is probably not the way to go, but I digress. The post continues. The display costs $550,000 plus. It is designed to incite violence against and on behalf of the former president. Right. When I see a naked Donald Trump, I immediately want to pick up a pitchfork and a torch and go after him. Come on. There have been other examples of Donald Trump getting lampooned in satire because of what he looks like. There's been other examples of naked Donald Trump statues. This is not the first one. Let's show a couple of those. There's also giant helium balloons that have been brought to his different rallies and things that also show Donald Trump in not the most glamorous or flattering light. And it's okay. When did we lose the joy in campaigning? Now, I know Tim Walz and Kamala Harris have it. They got to bounce in their step. They got to whistle on their lips. They're talking about positive messaging as they roll into the debate. the last debate, apparently, the last piece of the closing argument in front of 70 million people. This might be the #1 watched vice presidential debate in the history of American politics because Donald Trump is too much of a chicken. Cue the chicken suit pictures. That he won't attend any more debates. He's like the guy who takes the practice ball, from the basketball court and goes home. That's not the game ball. That was the practice ball. The American public is still watching a campaign in action and all your conduct and behavior. And the fact that MAGA is losing their mind over a 6,000-pound foam display of Donald Trump in his birthday suit is comical. And the fact that they link it to political violence is transparently asinine. Let me just continue the theme here. Here's something. Donald Trump, no surprise, has supporters in Malaysia. And here's what one, Ian Miles Chung, who goes by @StillGray, he posted, he's a Trump supporter, obscene libtards suffering from TDS, I think that's Trump derangement syndrome, have hanged a giant effigy of Donald Trump near Las Vegas. When Trump becomes president, he should jail everyone who was a part of this effigy's creation. Well, maybe in Malaysia, you cane someone for expressing your First Amendment rights, or you put them in a jail for the rest of their life. But we don't do that here. You wouldn't know that from Donald Trump. Donald Trump, who's continuing on the campaign trail to threaten people who criticize the United States Supreme Court, threatening them with jail, who attack him and threaten them with jail, who participated in the election process, donors and lawyers and election workers, when he invariably loses this election in November, puts them in jail if he wins. There's not a concentration camp or internment camp big enough to encompass Donald Trump's derangement and how many people he wants to put in a camp. You think the Japanese-American internment during World War II was a black mark on America? Even that United States Supreme Court didn't originally stand up to that and allow that to happen in cases, the United States Supreme Court cases that are a black mark on the court, like Karamatsu. If Donald Trump gets back into office, there won't be enough internment camps. You know those apocalyptic, dystopic movies about, something went, you never know what happened. The movie always starts after the event happened. Some zombie infestation, asteroid hits, somebody's eaten somebody's brain, something's gone wrong, there's been a complete breakdown, and there's now Mad Max and the Thunderdome everywhere. But they're always rounding up people and putting them in camps. Donald Trump thinks that's a documentary. Donald Trump thinks The Purge is a documentary. Here's a clip of Donald Trump recently saying at a rally that all we need is one day of the cops effectively beating the crap and killing alleged criminals, and that'll cure the problem. That sounds like The Purge to me. Let's play that clip.
Out that the 950 is a misnomer because you can steal whatever you want, you can go way above. But you'd see, originally you saw kids walk in with calculators. They were calculating. They didn't want to go over the $950. They're standing with calculators, adding it up. These are smart people. They're not so stupid, but they have to be taught. Now, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge, Congressman Kelly, put him in charge for one day. Mike, would you say, he's right here, he's a great congressman. Would you say, Mike, that if you were in charge, you would say, oh, please, don't touch them, don't touch them, let them rob your store. All these stores go out of business, right? They don't pay rent, the city doesn't have money. It's a chain of events that's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately. It'll end immediately.
So while we're floating giant foam statues 40 foot tall of Donald Trump naked, which only has to bring a chuckle, except to the most perverse in the MAGA society who think it's a cry for an assassination, Donald Trump is continuing to go into that dark, dark place and trying to put Americans at each other's throats and talk about rounding them up and putting them in internment camps and talk about allowing police to kill people and execute them on the streets rather than have our justice system do what they're supposed to do. The choice is clear, ladies and gentlemen. Stark contrast leading into the election. I can't believe 5%, this is what pollsters tell us, 5% of Americans haven't made up their mind yet. I know this is the same group that's shopping at like a convenience store for Christmas gifts an hour before, Christmas Day, but they got to make a decision. And I don't understand why it's so difficult. Everything is breaking Kamala Harris's way. She's been running a perfect, efficient, elegant campaign. No false steps. Since the moment that she became the candidate, since the moment before she became the candidate to now, flawless. She should run on that campaign slogan. Kamala Harris, flawless. That should be her slogan. And we're watching her making her closing argument and earning the votes of American people. What's Donald Trump doing? Scaring the crap out of everybody, telling them, look out, look behind you. Your neighbor's going to turn you in. I'm going to put you in an internment camp. I'm going to prosecute you. No First Amendment rights are all suspended when I'm here. Dictator for a day. Hooray. This is who you want anywhere near the White House. If he was a mental patient or an escapee from a mental hospital on the streets of New York where I practice, you would call social services to go help the guy and put him away, not elect him to the presidency. That's where we're at now. Calling the leading candidate for the Democratic Party, the vice president of the United States, former senator, mentally disabled. That's where he's at. It shows you the depths that he has sunk, along with J.D. Vance, who I don't know if he's pulling J.D. Vance down with him or J.D. Vance is pulling him. It's the blind leading the blind, obviously. But this is where they got to be thinking, we are losing this election. And they never had a hopeful, upbeat message. I don't know what that ever was. There's been no discipline to their campaign. So it must just be, what is the newest low blow that we can do? We already punched her down there. Let's punch her again down there. Let's say disgusting, depraved things and insult a section of the voting public that is disabled or has loved ones that are, or care for people that are, or were. Let's insult them. Let's go after the poor Haitian people, the downtrodden Haitian people, but a proud community. And let's go after black and brown people and hit them as well. Has anybody ever told the Republicans in MAGA that they can't win unless they have a broad party that encompasses a lot of different voting groups? Has anybody told them that old white guys aren't going to get you to the White House? You'd think that they haven't been told that. By the way, they're alienating so many different groups in America. And then, of course, they got the blanket alienation to say, you don't have First Amendment rights. I'm suspending the Constitution and I'm putting you in jail. And I support the purge. If this isn't motivating people to vote against Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and don't have J.D. Vance anywhere near the presidency, this 39-year-old amateur, fake hillbilly, one-time author, fabulist, you want him one heartbeat away from the president when the heartbeat we're talking about is Donald Trump? President J.D. Vance. If that doesn't scare the crap out of you, I don't know what will. Right? Attorney General Rudy Giuliani or Jeff Clark. Ooh, oh my God. Supreme Court Justice Aileen Cannon. Marjorie Taylor Greene somewhere with Matt Gaetz in the administration. RFK Jr. running public health policy. Do I have your attention now? Okay. You know what to do on November the 5th. We'll continue to talk about it at the intersection of law and politics. Now, 2 places. The Midas Touch Network. And we're so bursting at the seams with so much information, so much enthusiasm about law and politics. We had to form a new channel in collaboration with the Midas Touch Network. I'll be curating it. Legal AF MTN. Yes, we put it together. Legal AF MTN. It's your home. That 40 million people a month already know for law and politics commentary and analysis like no other. Help us build this pro-democracy channel in collaboration with the Midas Touch Network. Get us to 200,000 before Halloween. Boo! Go and free subscribe. You're going to love the content there. It's going to be my content. It's going to be other content from other commentators from the Midas universe and some new that you haven't heard from yet, and a new show about the United States Supreme Court called Unprecedented. Free subscribe to Legal AF MTN now. Until my next hot take, Until my next Legal AF podcast. Until my next exclusive content, where? Legal AF MTN. This is Michael Popok, and I'm reporting. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.